Oh, there it is. It's always this dilemma. Always this dilemma.
Every
This
time.
is a great intro right now. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Throwing Partners. As always, I am one of your hosts, Chris Collins, but I'm also always joined by the one, the only, the what's up guy, Brian Capri.
That's you. You're the WhatsApp guy. I am great. It has been a long time since we recorded. I want to say June was our last one. It is now September. So
It's been a
we
while.
took a little hiatus. You know, it was a busy summer for both of us. And
Very
we
much
just want to
so.
let the listeners know that,
We got some time now.
we got
some
time. We have time.
We figured it out. So
Schedules aligned. It's good. We are not busy as much as we were over the summer. So we're back. So
Yeah,
if you missed
we're
us,
back.
we missed you. We are back. We missed each other. Let's get to it.
All right. So I am having the honors today of being kind of like the ultimate, what do you think, Brian, kind of host. That's what we're going with. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw things out there. These are like the latest topics. We're not going back to June. We're just going back like recently. Okay. So we're gonna start in the NFL. NFL starts tomorrow, or if you're listening to it on Thursday, today. Or if you're listening on Friday, it already happened.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay, Dallas are opening up this week on Thursday Night Football. So first of all, who you got?
It's gonna be a fun matchup, but Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, going to Dallas, one of my questions for you is, does Dak have a good season? And if he does have a good season, do the Cowboys make the playoffs?
He does have a good season. He has a lot to prove, and I think he's coming in with a big old chip on his shoulder. You know, he got injured last year. He signed that big contract.
Hang on. Let's go back just a little bit there with you.
Okay.
You say he has a lot to prove. What does he have to prove? He already got his contract.
He's got to now prove that he is
Worth
their guy and worth it for the foreseeable future, especially after an injury like last year.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm tracking. Okay, so Dak equals good year equals Dallas playoffs.
Dallas goes to the playoffs. I think the Cowboys are there.
Okay. All right, you heard it here, folks. Brian thinks the boys are going back to the bowl. Not to the bowl, but to the playoffs.
I didn't say that.
Anyways, let's talk about the NFC East now. Here's another question for you. Does any team finish above 500?
Man, that is so hard. Yeah.
Who finishes then? You're saying Dallas?
Dallas. I think the Giants are going to be there.
Okay.
Ooh, more so the Cowboys. That's going to be a really bad division. Honestly, probably one of the worst. It's always the best of the worst.
Already the worst. It's always the worst there. So, okay. So I will say this. I think the Giants have a shot at making playoffs. If Daniel Jones has the same, if not better year he did last year without Saquon, and Saquon does his thing, I could see the Giants making the playoffs. I could see it. They made some low-key additions, but they also lost a couple people, but I could see them doing the right things there. So also Philly, who knows? Maybe they get their act together. You know, Carson Wentz is gone. So
once it's gone, Jalen Hurts is there. If with the Eagles, if it doesn't work out this year, that whole coaching staff is gone.
Yeah. So with the NFC, I'm going to turn you over to the NFC West, which is probably one of the toughest divisions in all of the NFL right now.
Probably the most fun as well.
I think every single team in there is easily a playoff contender.
Yeah.
Now that San Fran is healthy now, and Arizona just keeps climbing the leaderboard. Seattle and LA have already been there, you know, towards the top. So who do you have?
This is really hard because this is a fun division. Um, I'm gonna go with your Seahawks taking the NFC West, but
Gotcha.
it is gonna be the most grueling division of all the NFL. I think all those teams have a shot at it, and I think every team's really gonna put Seattle to the test.
All right. I agree. Seattle's going to take it. I think this is what I think. I think LA is going to be second, then Arizona. But I say LA and Arizona take those two wild card spots.
That's a good prediction as well. And I think with Los Angeles, they with having Stafford there now and having a quarterback that can really throw well and like I don't know take a hit. He did.
You know, he didn't look good.
It's preseason. No one looks great.
But you could always use as like a judging status for a team.
Yeah. But also you got to think about it. He got drafted by the Lions. He spent his whole career there. He's in a new area. He's getting used to everything. It's a mental game as well.
Exactly. I agree 100%. So in the NFC West, there is a player there that has been robbed of a Super Bowl, robbed of going back to a Super Bowl, and you know who I'm talking about. Is it Larry's year? Is it Larry's year? They have a lot there. They have a lot of talent there now.
It goes by how well Kyler can keep that team going and how consistent he can be. Because last year he had those games where it was like, here's the guy, that's their guy. And then, he'd have 1 or 2 weeks of just bad football and the team just kind of collapsed around him. Yeah. If he keeps that consistency, like the game with the Hail Murray, I forgot what team it was. It feels like it was 10 years ago. But if he has a game like that, almost, 90% of the season, that team goes to the playoffs. I don't know about Super Bowl, but they're good. They have a good defense.
I think they go to the playoffs. I definitely think so.
Yeah. It's like the top team in Arizona.
So we're going to switch NFC to AFC now. We're going to AFC East. 2 topics here of the same team. We're talking about New England.
Okay.
One, Cam Newton got cut, and Mac Jones is now officially the number 1 there. And Cam Newton has come out to say to many publicists that he has a lot to get off his chest. And I feel like the Pats did him wrong. I honestly feel like they did him completely wrong. I honestly feel like he could still play in the NFL. I think he is still a caliber quarterback. Maybe not a number 1, but still, I mean, here's the thing. You didn't have to cut the guy. He's a great backup. If you want him as a backup, keep him as a backup. Like, I don't get the whole cutting thing. His contract was cheap. I don't understand why they had
he just re-signed with them too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then to just cut him like that, there's a lot more to it, I think, than just
I think Bill Belichick,
people think it was because of vaccine issues and all this stuff.
Well, if that's an issue, I get it. The NFL is putting out mandates for all the teams to be vaccinated. I get that. And I get everybody's entitled to their opinion with vaccinations and everything like that. But if you've gone everywhere, the vaccine only helps you, even if you do get the virus. So I understand that at a player's rights and a citizen's rights. I get that 100%. But to cut the guy off of a really contract friendly for the team, and then you just let him go. You don't even give him a number 2 spot. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's really strange. I think there was something more internally wrong going on that the public doesn't know about. I know Cam's got a big personality, and even though he doesn't show it, Bill Belichick has a big personality as well.
Yeah,
he's a rock.
I don't know.
Man.
I thought he was a great fit last year. Even though he struggled, I think it was something new that New England hasn't had, which is a running quarterback. And they're not going to get that with Mac Jones. They're not. They're not going to get that. But I mean, this is Bill Belichick's team. He is the GM too, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I hope Cam Newton finds a home here soon.
I think
I hope he
I'm gonna
goes to
go
Miami
under week 5. He'll have a job, like over under.
I hope he goes to
5.
Miami so he can play against New England. If Tua gets hurt or struggles or anything like that, he can come in to play and prove Bill Belichick wrong. So, but with that, since the Pats didn't make the playoffs last year for the first time in 2000, I think.
Feels like they've been every year.
But do they make playoffs this year then with Mac Jones being there?
It's gonna be Buffalo's really good, and
Buffalo's taking that division.
Yeah,
they've already got it.
They're finally Brady's gone. The Patriots are past that dynasty. The fact that Buffalo can finally take that leap and be atop of the AFC East, that's theirs, like you said. It's gonna be a 2-team race.
Miami's good.
Miami's good too. It's gonna be a 2-team race, I think. If the Patriots do make the playoffs, they barely get in. It's it's wild card. But there's better teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
The Browns are going to be I think the Browns are going to be back. I think the Steelers are going to be there. There's other teams too.
Do you think the Browns are going to be bad?
No, they're going to be back.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be I think they're one of the best teams in the whole NFL.
Yeah, the Browns are good. Steelers are always good. Bills are good. And they play those teams.
Yeah.
And, there's all those sleeper teams out there too. I think, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but the Chargers are competitive.
Chargers look good. Justin Herbert looks good. If everybody on that team could stay healthy, I know they lost Hunter Henry, but I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of wrapping up the NFL here. So we're going to go really quick through while I load everything up. So we already picked the Bucks for this one for Thursday.
Yeah.
So while I have you here, we're going to go through the rest of the week.
Great.
So let's start off with Seattle playing Indy. Who do you got?
Our teams are playing each other. That'll be fun. Seattle.
You got to pick somebody. You got Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacksonville at Houston.
Houston.
Chargers at Washington.
Chargers.
Jets at Carolina.
Ooh.
See, in me, Zach Wilson is going to be good. Yeah. I don't know why people are doubting. I think he's going to be good.
I'm going to go Jets.
I think the Jets too. Minnesota at Cincy.
Cincy.
Arizona at Tennessee. That's a good game.
Yeah. Arizona by 3.
Ooh, okay. San Fran at Detroit.
San Fran.
Pitt at Buffalo. Another great game.
Buffalo.
Philly at Atlanta. Battle of the Birds.
Philly.
Ooh, I think Atlanta could do it. I think they can take it. Now here's a really good one. Cleveland at KC.
Man,
I honestly think Cleveland is the best all-around team in the NFL right now.
Their window is open.
I think if they lose against KC, I say they only lose one more game after that the whole season.
Really?
Yes, I think they go 15-2 now since it's 17 games.
That's bold. I think they'll lose up to 5 games, but I'm gonna go KC.
Green Bay at New Orleans.
Green Bay.
Another good game, but without Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Denver at New York. It's Denver. Come on.
Giants.
Miami at New England.
New England.
Mac Jones' first game, so you're going New England. I think Miami can take that one.
They can. It's anyone's game, but I'm going Patriots.
Chicago at LA.
LA.
And last but not least, Baltimore versus Vegas for Monday night.
Baltimore.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first from Brian with the picks. So if you're in NFL pick'ems or anything this week, you can go off of Brian, but you can come back and say a couple critique words after this week and see what he did and how
Nice
he did.
words.
So,
No stuff
yeah,
I have
no
to bleep
bad.
out. No threatening
Yeah.
things. If you
We
put
don't do
money
that
on
here.
it, if you put money on this, that's your fault that you listened to me.
It's your fault anyway, no matter what the circumstances are, unless you picked for them.
Unless I picked for them. But if they're going
Yes,
off,
yeah.
if just my prediction of you asking me these are like, well, Brian says this, and they lose money, that's on them because
Yeah,
they didn't have to put money down.
Bad.
Yeah.
Gambling's bad. It's fun though sometimes. So
Sometimes.
when you're winning, it's fun. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the NFL there. We're gonna go to MLB. It's getting towards the end of the season. It's getting nice and toasty here in the playoff races. So we're gonna talk about wild card races, specifically a couple teams, the teams who are more than likely able to obtain a spot. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about LA or San Fran. They're going to the playoffs. One of them is winning the division. One of them is winning the number one wild card. We don't know who it is. So with that, Cincinnati, San Diego, St. Louis is still somewhat in there.
They're in there.
Philly, New York Mets, they're all just kind of hanging around there. Who do you have winning that last wild card spot?
This is so tough because I love the wild card is so interesting because now that it's two teams, it really gets the competitive drives from each team in there. And it sucks if you win like 95 games and you're a wild card and you play that one game playoff. Mm-hmm. I don't see the Cardinals doing it, even though they won today. Cincy has been struggling hard. They just lost to the Cubs. They gave a three-run walk-off homer to Jason Hayward tonight, and the Cubs sold everyone at the deadline, and somehow they're winning right now, which is crazy. They're playing spoiler.
It's really weird.
But I don't think St. Louis has it in them. Cincy's really struggling right now. Philly's hanging around, and the Mets are hanging around. Philly is, they're playing the Brewers right now. They're losing in the top of the eighth by a run. The Mets lost to the Marlins by a run. So you gotta beat up on these lower teams. Like the Mets, you can't lose to Miami, and you did. But it's an interesting race. The Padres right now they're up 8-1 on the Angels. They lost last night. Blake Snell pitched a great game. It's tough. That second wild card spot, man, this is really hard because that's so competitive.
Do you want to hear what I think?
Yeah. I'm going to say, honestly, San Diego, they have it. Like,
they have it.
They're picking it up. They just need to – San Diego's issue right now is when they have great pitching like they did last night with Snell, they don't hit.
Exactly. Well, tonight they are because you Darvish on them now.
Yeah. But like tonight, they need to have both going on all cylinders. You can't have a great game, but then like Snell struck out 11 guys last night, no run support. Had a perfect game going in like the seventh inning.
Yeah,
they need to fire at all cylinders at all times, and they have a tough schedule to finish out. And if they can do it, these other teams are falling apart right now.
I think San Diego. They're going to struggle too at the same time, but I think they're going to squeeze it out.
Yeah.
But like you said, going back to San Diego, they've been struggling and everybody knows their struggles, which is pitching. It's been pitching. Bullpen pitching, they've been phenomenal. They've been one of the best bullpens in the league until recently. Recently, they've been kind of a lot of guys hurt, though. Their whole bullpen from the start of the season is basically IL, gone.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird, but they're still there. There's still good pieces like Melanson. Pagan just came back. He's not doing the greatest, but then you have like Tim Hill's doing really well and everything there.
They picked up Daniel Hudson from the Nats at the deadline, and he's only pitched a game.
He sucked at first. Well, no, he sucked in the beginning when he first got acquired, and then he got hurt, and then he's back, and then I think he's pitched 2 games since he's been back, and he's actually been really well.
And then the loss of Pomeranz really hurts that bullpen as
well. Pomeranz. And then also they lost a good long relief guy with Strom. Strom's gone. Another big one was Austin Adams, or not Austin Adams. What's his name? Dan Altavilla. He's out. So they've missed a lot of key guys. but their starting pitching has been horrible, been very inconsistent. They already fired their pitching coach, so hopefully that turns things around.
It's
there.
changed things, and I called that months ago. I was telling Nick about this, our local Padre fan. I told him, it's like, once they get rid of Larry, I don't see Larry. I said, if the Padres don't make the playoffs or they do and they lose, Larry's gone in the offseason. Larry Rothschild.
Yeah, he doesn't have a job.
They got rid of him in August. And since then, Snell has been great. Darvish has picked it up. Musgrove's been that guy all year.
He's their best pitcher that they've had, the most reliable. But Weathers and Lamet, no. They need to figure it out. Yeah. So with that, let's go to the AL wild card. Okay. So this one's a lot closer than people think because both spots are up for grabs. Of course, New York and Boston are in the wild card spots right now, but then you have Toronto playing phenomenal baseball right now, Seattle hanging in there, Oakland falling off a little bit, and that's really it. But the race there is a lot tighter.
Yeah.
So who do you have taking the two spots?
Right now, just the way things are playing, Boston and Toronto.
Boston's losing. Well, they won today against Tampa, but they played a tough series against Tampa, who's a great baseball team. So it's okay if they squeezed out one game, which is good. But yeah, New York is tanking pretty bad. So is Oakland. So I agree with you with the Boston-Toronto. The only way I could see my Mariners making this is, one, they squeezed out a win today. They needed to. They could have had the series win with yesterday's loss. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just like heartbreaking. But they have I wouldn't say a weaker schedule, but a more favorable schedule on their side to win games.
Yes, they do.
But the thing is when they played KC last time, they lost 3 out of the 4. They can't do that now. They cannot. They have to win at least, I think they have 5 more series to go. They have to win at least 4 out of those 5 to stay within grab of that last wild card spot. They have to win.
I agree. If the hard thing, the true test, they need to win. They need to sweep Arizona coming up this weekend.
They do. Yes.
But then Boston comes in.
They need to win at least half of that series.
They need to win 2 out of 3. They're chasing Boston for that card. They're chasing Toronto. If they can somehow squeak out 2 or even a sweep of a 3-game series from Boston, they're in it. But it just takes those other teams they're chasing as well to fall. But they got to pounce on those teams. And I think the last 2 weeks, they had that road trip with KC, Oakland, and then the Angels. They play Oakland twice in a 2-week span, away and then home. They need to take those series as well.
Yeah. Like I said, they have to take – they only can lose one series. And that one series I feel like they can lose is against Boston, honestly. That's the only team they can lose that series against because Boston, I'm pretty sure, has to play Tampa again and New York again.
Yeah.
So their schedule is a lot harder than what we have. So if we can win the rest of those, I think, honestly, it would be the first time in 21 years the Mariners make playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's just – you go in as a Mariners fan expecting we're not going to make it. We have a great farm system now. We have stuff to look forward to in the next couple of years, but we're not going to make it. And now that they're this close, it's like you can't do it like that. Like you have to make it now. Yeah. You're this close, you have to make it. And if they were in the National League, they'd be in the wild card spot right now.
Yeah, they remind me a lot of the 2015 Cubs. A Cubs team that wasn't supposed to be that competitive that season. Their window was supposed to open in 2016. They came a year early, played the Mets in the championship series and lost. This is what the Mariners are reminding me right now. So their window is opening early. I think next year, with the offseason and free agent signings and team shifting, we can really see them take over the West in the next few years. And I know that's going to make your heart really happy.
Means I'm buying season tickets. I'm just going to move to Seattle that instant, just like that. But okay. So I got 2 more topics. One, a very prolonged topic. Trevor Bauer extended again, administrative leave, now to the DA's office with the investigation. What do you think his future holds?
Trevor Bauer doesn't throw another pitch for the Dodgers and doesn't see an MLB game until 2023.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I do agree. And I also feel like, there is evidence on both sides. I'm not taking anybody's side on this because, there's no verdict or anything like that. But all the evidence is out there for public eye. There are text messages, there are statements. So just wanted your take to see how long he's going to be out of baseball. Nothing against his trial or anything like that, just out of baseball. Because we don't want to be biased in any way. We just want to see what happens with the verdict, because that is ultimately what is going to happen. So last but not least, American League, National League, MVPs, and Cy Youngs, go.
NL Cy Young, Walker Buehler. AL Cy Young,
Garrett Cole.
Robbie Ray.
No way, Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole left yesterday's game with an injury.
Okay. Robbie Ray's looking really good too. I'll give you that. If Rodon didn't get hurt, he would have had it too.
Yeah. I think now it's a Lance Lynn, Robbie Ray, Garrett Cole race. Though with the Cole injury yesterday, we don't know the specifics of it. Gotta go Robbie Ray.
MVPs then.
NL is really hard, but
AL it's Shohei. But honestly, I'm so close to saying Salvador Perez could possibly do it, but it's Shohei's.
It's Shohei's award to lose.
Yeah. Vladdy and Salvador Perez, even Jose Abreu is really close. They're all really close. NL, personally, I don't think Fernando's gonna win it.
I don't think so either.
I think Brandon Crawford's gonna win it.
I think Brandon Crawford is a sleeper. Bryce Harper, though, is just staying under that line of just like people talking about him, and he does not care. He's having a great sneaky season, and the Phillies are good. Like they're pushing for a playoff spot, and if they make it, he's got to be the MVP. It's carrying that team the second half of the season.
Well, it's him and Zach Wheeler. Honestly, that's really what it is. But that's the MLB. So we're wrapping up the show here a little bit. Just a quick couple things. College football's back. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Big notable games that just happened this weekend. Clemson defeated by Georgia. Georgia looks very dominant. Georgia, in my opinion, is the better SEC team, and they are the team to ultimately win the SEC, let alone win the national title. That's just my take. I love Oklahoma, but man, squeaking by Tulsa by 5 points, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
When you're the number 2 nation, now number 4, because you barely squeaked by. But UCLA 2-0, beat LSU. UCLA is back. No, Chip Kelly's just, the Pac-12 is not as, how do you say, competitive. There's some good football teams in there, but it's not like the SEC or Big 12. It's nothing like that. So, but good for UCLA to be an SEC team. So we'll see more about them. And then a big thing here is the Big 12 potentially coming to an agreement to do a merge with the SEC. I am not about it. I don't like that because one, it's all for the money. I get that, but then also it's like you're breaking traditions. So now there's no Big 12 title, or the Big 12 will be there, but it's not going to be the same teams. They've already done this once before. Colorado and Colorado State used to be in the Big 12. Missouri used to be in the Big 12. Now Missouri's in the SEC. Colorado and Colorado State in the Pac-12. So it's like stop with all this moving around and just leave it be, because you already have a 4 college playoff team thing. Yeah, that's what you wanted. You wanted that. You got that. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. It's good that players are getting paid in college now for their names. So why change it up more? Why make it more difficult for the fans to follow everything? Like, it makes no
exactly.
sense.
I was thinking about that, and all those fans are also students. So
Yeah, it's like, it makes no sense. Or alumni.
Yeah.
They're alumni. It's like, okay, I was part of the Big 12. Now they're the SEC. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But that's college football. Some random sports here. They're not random, but they're national sports. Tennis wrapping up their thing going on, women's and men's. Two big names here is Leila Fernandez and Felix Alasime. I'm saying it right. Both are from Canada. Both are like 19, or I think they're both 19. Not even ranked. They're in the semifinals, both going against the number 2s in each men's and women's tomorrow for the semifinal. So is Canada the new tennis country?
Is Canada the new tennis country?
Yeah. It's usually a European kind of thing, but there's a couple.
I don't think so.
These kids are phenomenal, and they said the secret is maple syrup. So maybe we just all need a big old maple tree in our backyard and play tennis later. So
maybe
there's that. And then last but not least, soccer. FIFA World Cup qualifiers are happening. US is really shaky in the men's. They play a round robin matchup against Honduras. They definitely need to win this to keep their qualifying hopes in making FIFA. But US women's, of course, they finished silver in the Olympics in soccer, but they are still ranked number 1 for the FIFA.
Yeah.
So lots to look forward there for the women's soccer team, but also men's soccer for FIFA. Belgium is phenomenal. They're the number 1 team, number 1 country. But with that, folks, it is time to say lights out.
Lights out.
It's been a privilege and an honor to be back. I know it has been a long time, so just bear with us. We live daily lives too. We've been having a lot of questions of when is the next episode and all this stuff. Well, it's here, and hopefully we're going to be more consistent with our schedules now, kind of opening up. But like, as always, like, subscribe, share. Definitely share. You don't have to like it. You can dislike it, but share. Just share it, because we need the views, we need the followers, and we love to do this, but we love to do it with an audience. So we care about what you guys think and what you guys have to say. So always critique us, send us stuff. You can email us, you can message us, you can DM us, you can do any of that stuff, and we'll get back to you guys. So give us some things to talk about in the next episode. And like, as always, be respectful, be nice, be kind in this crazy world. And I'm going to pass it over to my throwing partner, Brian.
Woo. Got it. All right. Thank you for being patient, everyone that listens. I know the summer we were just quiet and a lot of stuff happened, but like Chris said, we have lives outside of this. It's just for fun. Chris worked full time. I worked full time. Chris went to school. It's hard. We have to juggle things, and we all have separate lives. And I saw Chris for the first time this past weekend. For the first time since
been like
June.
Months.
Since the last time we recorded was the last time I saw you. So that's how busy we've been. But we're glad we're back. I'm glad I can do this with Chris again. And we're here each week of the NFL season.
We're here.
It's going to be fun. Yep. I think both of us are I'm in 3 leagues. I don't know how many leagues you're in.
I'm in 1. Or 2.
Just 1.
I'm in
2 leagues. Okay. I'm in 3. And it's been crazy. I had back-to-back draft days, and it's been fun. But I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to do this with you and just talk about things.
Starts Thursday. Here we go.
Starts tomorrow. Today is Wednesday.
I know. It's crazy.
But yeah, just be safe out there whenever you're listening. Today, tomorrow, next week. Have a good day. Be safe, and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace.